Hi, do you have thistles in your yard or prickly weeds, or you're tired of bending over to get all the weeds? There's new tools that allow you to stand up while you're doing the weed pulling. Today I'm going to be showing you this weed puller tool. I want to thank Pop for gifting me this new tool that I can show to you. My mom does a lot of weeding at my house, and so I'm looking for something that she can use without bending over all the time, and we have a lot of thistles. My name's Missy. I do review videos on products that you would use around your house, your cabin, for your kids, etc. I'm going to assemble it today and show you how it can be used. So first time opening the box, got a couple poles here. Everything comes in bubble wrap, which can be recycled with our plastic bags, so I don't mind that. Got a lot of poles here. Here's the base of the tool, I would assume. So something to kind of protect the edge, a little rubber thing that goes on both edge. Okay. Directions. And it comes with its own tools. So let's see what we have to do here. One-page directions, pretty easy. So step one, assemble the handle. Align threading. Connect two thread segments by inserting the male thread into the female. All right, so we're going to do, okay, so there's a few different ones. So this is going to be the top, clearly, because it's got the hook. So I'll start there, and then I'll put this one on. Male into female there. Whoop. Okay. And then this one looks a little different than the other one, so I'm going to assume that's the bottom. So we'll put this one on next. Pieces aren't numbered, but like I said, I think it's pretty intuitive as to which piece is which, because these ones both have screws on them to screw into the next one. This one does not have a screw on it. So then I'm going to put this one on. All right, there's the full handle length. Okay. There we go. It says test tightness by twisting handle counterclockwise. If it moves, retighten clockwise. It's not moving either way. All right, next, the head attachment. Okay, so here is the head. Like I said, there are some tools with this, so might need to use the tools, or I'm assuming we'll need to use the tools. All right, position weed puller vertically on flat ground. I have a table next to me. I'm going to use that. There we go. On the flat ground. And insert assembly handle into the mounting sleeve. Insert assembled handle into the mounting sleeve. All right, and there's holes on this and there's holes on that, so logic would dictate the holes need to line up. Pretty simple there. Insert both screw bolts through the aligned holes. Again, makes sense. Pre-tighten screw bolt. Use the hex key to turn the screw bolt clockwise until firm resistance. All right, so I'm going to first do it with like a finger tightening, I would think. Put that through. There are two sides to the screw. I forget which way goes in and out. The picture doesn't really say it clearly, but I think there's only one way it can work. Okay, so you want it to go with the big side down and the top side up because it stops at that point, and then we'll need to use the Allen wrench that came with it. There's a little blue like tightening part to it, and so you want to tighten it till it gets there, because once it gets there, that's like a locking part of the nut. All right, and then we're going to take, I'm going to hold, I can put this out of the way. I'm going to hold the bolt side with the wrench, And I'm going to use the Allen wrench side on the screw. I'll show this to you a little clearer here. It was a little hard to see how I was tightening the screw, so I wanted to show you a different angle here. So here is the screw here, here is the nut here. You can see the smaller part of the nut where there's a little ring and the blue part goes on the outside. The bigger end goes here. So how you're going to tighten these, this is the only technical part of the assembly you have to do. You're going to hold the nut here and then use the Allen wrench on this side here to tighten it. So that's how you're going to tighten it. I find it easiest if you do this and then you're pulling down with your Allen wrench, which is always easier. I have mine pretty well tightened at this point, but I wanted to come back and show you a little closer the easiest way to do it. So again, I have this on this side and then my Allen wrench on this side. The Allen wrench works either way. You can do the short end or the long end. When you really want to crank down, a lot of times doing the short end so you can pull on the long end is a little bit easier on your hands. All right, there we go. All right, so it's together like that. I can say it does jiggle a little bit, but this feels really tight on there, and these screws feel really tight on there. All right, I'm going to cut this video, and then I'm going to go to me using it. All right, my soil here today is pretty dry. I live in Colorado, and moisture has not been our friend this season so far, but I'm going to see what I can do here. So based on this, I would think I would get underneath here towards the root, and then maybe step on this and pull up. That one didn't work so well. Maybe I go this way with it, get into the root, step on it, and then pull up. Got some dirt there. Like I said, my dirt is pretty stinking dry, which may make this a little bit more difficult. I really couldn't have put on the wrong way. No. I just have to crank at it, but it didn't get the root, which you know we always want. Let's try again. Not getting the root there. Got more of the root there. Oh, but I think I pulled up a radish. I'm going to plant that one back. My bad. So you can kind of dig down deep in the earth like this and pull them out. I got to be careful, clearly, of my plants that already seemingly are growing. And I have to be careful around my sprinkler system. So I would say what I like about it is you can do it standing up. Maybe when the ground is softer, it would be a little bit easier to get the roots. Right now, it seems to be leaving the roots, which is not my favorite. So I'll try it again when the ground's wet, but that's what I got so far. Today I'm cleaning up my greenhouse a little bit from last fall, and you can see that we have some rogue strawberries. I found that this was nice. Kind of gets in and pulls out those strawberries that I can then pick up easily with gloves and put into the trash. So this is nice for raking and pulling those weeds or plants you don't want in certain areas. So I can then go through with a rake, get all the green stuff. It gets stuck a little bit in there, especially with the rocks. You need to pull at it a little bit and just be careful because, like I said, these are very sharp.